In Go Fishing this week, we set out purposefully to catch those gentle biters, both large and small, starting here in Norfolk with crucian carp in the market town of Diss, where the picturesque mere is enjoyed by all. And for a few pounds, anyone can become a member of the Diss Angling Club, which controls the fishing, by obtaining a ticket from the tackle shop opposite the mere. But before we start fishing, I thought we'd come here to the Waveney Fish Farm, which is actually just across the road from Dismere, to show you what a crucian carp looks like. There's numerous kinds of exotic freshwater fish on show here, from blue wharf and chebunkins to huge fantail goldfish, all attractively laid out in ponds full of water lilies and colourful marginal plants. Customers are encouraged to just look around by the owner, David Laughlin, who maintains an enviable collection of beautiful top-grade koi carp, weighing almost to 20 pounds. Fish which visitors just can't resist feeding. There we are. There's a nice net of fresh young crucians. Look at those. Let's hope we catch them a bit bigger than those in the mere, though. And here we now change pace. And here we are at the mere. It's a beautiful morning. The sun's coming up over the houses in the distance there. I've got my little family of ducks here waiting to go, and they're obviously going to expect some bread throughout the day. I've put a carpet of mashed bread and some sweet corn under the branches of this chestnut tree, and I'm going to start off with a bit of bread float. I've got a very light shotting rig, in fact just one tiny BB shot about 2 inches from the hook, and little piece of peacock quill. And I've plummeted the swim. It's about 4 foot there, and that's just on bottom. That's lovely. They tell me the crucians in the mere feed very close in, so let's see if they do. I think I'll concentrate the bait just under the oh dear me, under the edges of that chestnut. I don't think I've ever fished a lake before with so many ducks on it. There's goodness knows everything here. Mallard crosses, Chinese geese, muscovies, there's some Peking ducks. It's a lovely spot. Ooh. Well, unfortunately, the sun's gone in, but at least the fish are feeding. I don't know whether this is a crucian, a tench, or a mirror. It's cool. There's all sorts of carp in the mere, they tell me, but this is something that's going very nice. I've got a very light tackle on. I've got a 2-pound line, 14 hook, so whatever it is, you can't hurry it. Well, and it's picked up a piece of rubbish on the line as well. Whoa! Oh, lovely. I do love playing fish on the centre pin on light tackle. Oh, that looks like a tench. Ooh, at least it's keeping the ducks out of my way. I've never known such aggressive ducks before in my life. Here we go. Oh, it's got an old paper bag around it. Looks like a small tench. Yep, it is. Lovely. Oh, well, that's a good start. Let's have a look at you. Oh, there we are, look. It's a nice tench. Unlike, yeah, I don't know what... Looks like an industrial tea bag, doesn't it? Anyway, nice start, nice start. I thought that was a big crucian the way that went away there, as doggedly as they do, but... Whoops, got the little hook out. Tiny hook. There we are. Whoops. Lovely start to the day. Let's pop him in the keep net straight away. There we are. Now, what is this? Oh, I missed that one. I think I'm going to cut this float down a little bit. The nice thing about using peacock quill is that you just keep the shot on that you've got, and with a pair of scissors, just cut it flush off from the bottom. That's why when I'm after crucians, I don't use commercial style wagglers with the line through the bottom of it, because I can't cut it down. That should be a gnat's above the surface now. I'm going to try a couple of casters. I've put some casters out with the ground bait, which is a mixture of mashed bread and brown crumb, and we'll see. The bites are very, very slight. Very slight. Put a little bit more crumb in. This really is a lovely 5 acres of water, Dismere. I don't think there's a few seconds that go by without hearing ducks or geese. It really is a noisy spot. It's all going on, but there's lots of fish biting.
Bait and weight and waders, hook and reel and net, soup and flask and thermals, they'll keep you warm, not wet. Brolly, torch and maggot, sardines, mittens and line. You don't need much fishing gear to have a beautiful time.
Yes, here we are. There's a nice little crucian. Oh, look at that. Aren't they lovely? I never tire of catching crucians. Never tire at all. Oh, there we are. Not a big one, but I understand they average about 12 ounces a pound in the mere here. Look at that. It's gone all grey and overcast, and you've got this lovely buttery yellow hand-sized crucian. Look at that. Isn't he lovely? Beautiful little fish. Oh well, they've started biting. Oh, here we are, another crucian. Hello, one jumped in the swim then when I struck that one. They're ever so finicky, these bites, they really are. Whoa, this is going well. Tiny little bites. Whoa, I love that way they come up and do a swimmer's roll. Oh, that's a lovely one. Look at that. Beautiful. Never ceases to amaze me the golden colour of crucian. Some lakes, they're not so nice as this, but as this water's quite coloured here, look at that, isn't that beautiful? In fact, it's a little bit over eutrophic, is Dismere, and in the middle of the lake, the club have put a pump system that keeps the water nicely aerated. But because the water's coloured, you get this lovely golden colour on the crucians. Goodness me, there's so many different types of mallard crosses on the mere, all sorts of shapes and colours. And we've got some of the Chinese geese swimming by at the moment. As you can see, I've now moved over to this side of the mere. It's quite deeper here, close in too. And haven't those houses over there by the old nunnery got a wonderful view? I got here about an hour ago, and at first cast I got a tench and then a couple of crucians. And right now it's got a bit quiet. I'm just going to see if my bread's still there. Well, at least the fish do seem bigger in this deeper water. I've changed to a size 12 hook and to bread flake to try and get through to the bigger fish, but I've still got that BB shot 3 inches from the hook in case I get flat bites. And I'm trying to keep the float very close to this deep water under the tree here. I'm laying about 3 or 4 inches on the bottom. I've cast beyond the tree and bringing it back under the branches. Perhaps in this strong sunlight the crucians might be under there, you never know. I did lose a very good carp earlier on, and well, I think it was a carp, and it just carried on going under the tree, and the hook come out, unfortunately. Now I'm on the bottom now. I'm just going to tighten the centre pin up just so that there's about 1/4 of an inch of the float showing. There we are. Got a lovely pair of ducks. I think they're Aylesbury's. The waterfowl in Dismere is really spectacular. The noise doesn't stop from the minute you get here until the minute you leave. It's lovely. Whoa, now what's this? Whoa. Oh, this is going. It's got stuck in something down there. One of the locals told me that there's a trolley under the local supermarket down there. I'll have to be careful because I've only got £2 line. Feels like another crucian. Oh, yes, look at that. They're scrappy little blighters, they really are. Well, we're not catching many fish from this swim, but they're a better stamp, that's for certain. Although this isn't as big as the first two. Whoops, gotcha. Tiny little bites now. They really are biting gently. And this isn't that big, this one. Never mind. Well, in retrospect, I suppose I should have stayed in the swim over there had I wanted a bag of crucians, but I don't really think it's been one of those days. Sometimes here you can get 20 or 30 in a session of... Whoa! But today, it's the bigger fish. And I'm glad I moved over to this spot because I wouldn't have... Whoops! In you go. I wouldn't have ended up with... I wouldn't have ended up with this nice tench. Oh, they are lively. And on the light tackle under this tree, that was lovely. Whoops. Well, he's gone in. Let's put these smaller crucians back. There's a really odd one here I'd like to show you. Put these two smaller ones back, although that's probably £1.25, £1.50, that one. Now, some time ago, somebody introduced some goldfish apparently into the mere, and they look as though they bred with the crucians. Oh, there we are. Look at that. That's a strange-looking thing, isn't it? Half goldfish, I think, and half crucian. If I was buying that over the road in this fish farm, that would probably cost me a bob or two.